From the studios of Foxboro Cable Access, located in the center of Foxborough, Massachusetts, you are watching Around Foxborough.
Welcome back to another episode of Around Foxborough. We are recording special edition for town election. Today, we are interviewing our candidate for the town selectman, Dennis Keefe. Dennis, welcome to Around Foxborough today.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Looking forward to our conversation.
Wonderful. So before we start our conversation, can you tell our audience your name and why you're running for the selectman?
Sure. So my name is Dennis Keefe, and I've been in Foxborough about 6 years now, so I'm a relative newcomer. I semi-retired at the end of 2017. I've been in the healthcare industry for all my career, actually, and we can talk about that later. But I was in healthcare and ran large organizations and was always active in the communities where these organizations resided because it comes with the territory. So I love community service and I love what I was doing, but I really never had any time to participate locally outside of the church. To participate locally and do things in the community where I lived. I never had that opportunity. So when I got to Foxborough and I, retired, semi-retired, I'll say, I all of a sudden had the time to really get involved. So I really, within a year, got involved on the advisory committee for 3 years. I'm ending my, third-year term this year. And that was an opportunity to really get involved with the town. And, you get a bird's eye view of the issues and challenges that exist in Foxborough. I call it like drinking from a fire hose. That's how much you really learn about the town and what the challenges are, what the issues are. And again, I felt really involved. There were great community people that are on that committee. And it just was a really, really good experience. And it really piqued my curiosity in terms of when the town selectman position opened up and people had suggested this to me, quite frankly, maybe I should consider running for that office. So I debated that for a while because it was another, significant commitment. But ultimately, I really felt that the time was right to really get more involved than just the advisory committee. So that's what led me to really want to run for this office.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And let's go back to your career. So what were you doing before you semi-retired?
Before I semi-retired, I was the CEO of Care New England, which is a 3-hospital system in Rhode Island. Over $1 billion in revenue, over 5,000 employees. And you may be familiar with Women and Infants Hospital. That was one of the hospitals here in New England. I was there for 7 years. Prior to that, I'll just go back another 11 years. I was the CEO of Cambridge Health Alliance in Cambridge, Massachusetts. That's a Harvard teaching organization. And I was there for 11 years. Again, it was over $1 billion in revenue, had several thousand employees. And importantly, I was also the Commissioner of Public Health for the city of Cambridge. And, right now, where I'm semi-retired, I'm still doing consulting. And I'm doing consulting in the area of public health. I'm the Chief Health Officer for Clark University. And my principal responsibilities are COVID readiness and mitigation. And I'm still doing that as we speak. And that's another reason why I decided to run for selectman, because with my background in public health and a virus that just doesn't seem to want to go away, I think my expertise and experience in that area, I think will be helpful for the town, particularly at a selectman level.
Great. Thank you so much. So is this your first time running for some political area?
Yes, although Cambridge Health Alliance was a public organization. So I routinely, sat on the city council and really was involved with the political system there. And there's no politics like Cambridge politics, if you know, Massachusetts. But I got a lot of exposure to the political system and political engagement. Ended up because of our funding coming from the state and the federal government, having a lot of federal political connections and state political connections, as well as local connections. So I'm no stranger at all to politics and really, what it takes to be successful in that kind of environment.
Great. Well, thank you so much for that. And as you served for advisory committee and learned about the town of Foxborough and it motivated you to be a selectman, what do you think that our town can improve if you were to be a selectman?
Sure. Well, the first thing I would say is that I think the town is run very well. So it's not about, looking at, a host of problems and, how can I fix things or how can I help fix things? I think the town manager, Bill Keegan, has done an excellent job. And that's going to be a challenge filling his shoes, given that he's retiring. So I do think the town's very well run, but there's always opportunities for improvement wherever you are. And as I was the CEO of large and small corporations, I've always had the mindset of improvement. When I come to work or whatever I'm doing, I'm always looking to improve things every day. So I'm a relative newcomer to town. I think I have fresh eyes and fresh perspectives. And I think I will see opportunities for improvement, even though I think the town is run very, very well. It's just the nature of who I am and what I do. And what is really my passion is to look for opportunities for improvement. And that's why I've been relatively successful in my career, because that really, it really generates success, and success breeds success. So that's really the mindset I bring to being a selectman.
Do you have any tangible issues, maybe specific issues that you saw that maybe you can improve, like specific issues in our town that maybe if you were to be elected as a selectman, that you can bring that to the table?
Yeah. Well, I can see some challenges on the horizon. And the one that might not be evident is because I've run large organizations, I think I can make a real contribution to help recruit the next town manager. The town manager is so critical to the operation of the town that you really want to get that right. And you want to get the best possible candidate to really, as I said, fill Bill Keegan's shoes, because he has done an excellent job. So I've done those kinds of searches myself, with an outside firm, many, many times over the years. I know what works and what doesn't work and what you really need to think about when you're really trying to find that best candidate. So I know I can make an impact there immediately. Some of the other challenges really will be, I think I've had to manage like huge budgets, so I can make a contribution in that area. And with inflation on the horizon, that's going to be a huge challenge, right? Right now, housing costs are already a challenge, particularly for seniors. So, that's going to really push up taxes, which nobody wants to hear about, but that's the reality of how the tax rates, really get to the value of properties and housing. So that's going to be an expense. It's going to be pressure on wages within the town. I have extensive union experience, collective bargaining, and really experience with how do you develop really good labor relations, which is critical to the smooth operation of a town. So I have skills that I think are going to be immediately helpful to complement the people that I've already talked with on the Board of Selectmen, who are also excellent in terms of their own backgrounds and their own experience in the community. But my skills will be relatively new. And as I said, fresh eyes and fresh perspectives is always a good thing in my experience.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And how can people get in touch with you before the election if they were to have any personal questions about you running for the selectman?
Sure. Well, I'm going to do a dangerous thing, Jerry, and I'm going to give you my email. People can email me directly. Running large corporations, I always had the employees, and I always encouraged the employees to email me directly, and I answered them all. Maybe not immediately, but it's a great way of staying in touch with people. I think it's a great way of staying in touch with the community. And my email address is ddk1215@aol.com. So I welcome people's questions and input, and that's really the way I would reach out to people immediately.
Well, thank you so much for that. I am sure some people may have questions for it. So
Right.
before we close our interview today, I would like to have you last message to the people who are thinking to vote for you. So if you can share that message to the town.
Sure. Well, I want to say, we've been here 6 years. My wife Laura and I love the community. We find it has many, many attributes, and I think we've assimilated into the community very, very well. We have three adult children. We have 7 grandchildren. There's so much that Foxborough has to offer, and that is positive about Foxborough. I could give you a list. It's really it's a very friendly community, very clean, accessible town government. You have Patriot Place. I'm a Patriot season ticket holder. Very importantly, everything seems to be at your fingertips. Everything seems to be walking distance. It's a great faith community. What I want to do is continue to ensure that Foxborough is the unique and extremely positive community that it is today. In any way I can see that there's an area that needs to be improved, I will provide that input. And anywhere I see an area that's running extremely well, and there are many, I will just work very, very hard on everyone's behalf to preserve that as well. So to me, it's all positive, and our experience in Foxborough is all positive. And I want to do everything I can to keep things at least the way they are, and hopefully to improve things wherever we can now in the future together.
Well, thank you so much for the message. And thank you for our audience for watching Around Foxborough Special Edition for Town Election Candidate. My name is Jay Love. I'm your host. Our Executive Director is Michael Weber, and our Director is Paul Beck. Our website is fcatv.org. Thank you, everyone.